Hey everyone, Michael from Xano here. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover a couple array functions that are very similar, and that is add to end of array and add to beginning of array. So let's first look at this endpoint here. I'm creating this variable, and it's an array of just A, B, C, D. So if we go ahead and run this, we can see it's very simple. Arrays can, of course, be a list of scalar items like text or even just an integer, a number, or they can be more complex and be like a list of objects, right, with their key value pairs. So let's go ahead into my function stack and look at data manipulation and look at arrays, and you can see here at the top are the two I'm talking about. So we either add an element to the end of array or add an element to the beginning of array, right? It's just either the very beginning or the very end. So let's go ahead and click on add to end of array. You can see the setup here on the right side. We first need an existing variable in our function stack that is an array. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that array variable I created, and then a value that we want to add to, in this case, the end of the array. Oftentimes, this will probably be either another variable or perhaps an input. So let's go ahead. I'm going to add an input here. We'll just call this text input, and I'll just say input here. And so if I go back into my function and make that value that we're adding to the end of the array the value of the input and hit save, what I can do, I can go ahead and run this, and I might just go ahead and type my name in here. And now you can see in that array at the end is Michael. So we have A, B, C, D, and then Michael, all in that array. So that's exactly what these functions do. They will update that existing array with whatever supplied value you have, and return the new array. I do want to point out that there are some filters that accomplish some very similar things. So let's go ahead and just quickly look at that. I'm just going to click on the response here and add filter. So one of them is one I use very often is push. It pushes an element to the end of an array and returns the new array. And the other one would be unshift. So pushes an element to the beginning of an array and returns the new array. Okay, so also you can accomplish similar logic in the filters, just wanted to point that out. But these functions specifically can be very handy if you are dealing with loops, especially for each loops, and you need to extract something from each item to create a new list. Oftentimes I like to use these array add to end or add to beginning of array functions to help me create that list in that logic. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully you know a little bit more about how to use these functions now.